Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very different, hopefully, I'd like to say exciting episode of Disappointed Dragon, but as you'll see, it's probably going to be a little bit more sedentary or sedimentary. Ha. It's a pun based off of the title, because today we are going to be showing off my crystal hoard, or in more mundane terms, my rock collection. So before you run away, even you are welcome today. Yes, you, I know. Normally I chase you off, but today I think everyone should get the joy of seeing my rock collection because it is quite nice. So I'll just give a little bit of backstory on this. So my grandfather, who is just as eclectic as I, and also just as into collecting stuff as, the rest of my family, which is a curse that my mother hates. And she is very displeased by the fact that her father passed it on to her children. One of his hobbies that he passed on to us children is his rock hounding. He is a self-proclaimed rock hound, which means that he goes around out in the interior of British Columbia where he lives, looking at old abandoned quarries, old forested roads, logging roads where they've churned up a lot of rock, they've plowed through rock, there's a lot of broken rock on the side, and looks for geodes, crystals, and things like that. And of course, when we were younger, he took me, my brothers, and my cousins all the time. In fact, he also took us when we were older. And this has, of course, proven to my brother beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are related to dwarves and that I have dragon fever, as I spent most of my life with a box of gems under my bed. So I literally slept on my crystal hoard. That is no longer the case, as since I have moved out on my own, I now keep my rocks in a drawer beside my bed. So a little bit different. So this might not be as exciting, but I thought it'd be kind of cool just to show off some of the things I've seen. I don't really know anything about rocks. I'm not a geologist of any sort, but I don't think I really need to know what the rock is to appreciate when it's shiny. Like a raven, I like things that are shiny, and like a dragon, I hoard them forever. So I'll just show off a couple of the really cool things I've found. We'll start with this one here. This is actually one of my favorites. Just because, as you can see here, it's got like this weird crystal straw that's kind of coming off of it, and I have no idea how something like this would have formed. I'll just zoom in a little bit further. You can see it's got all these spiky crystals on the side. I'm guessing it's quartz. I don't really know. Quartz is usually like this white color, and it's really crazy. Like, I just found this lying on the ground of a quarry, and yeah, I had to have it, as is the case with most of these. So a lot of the rocks we find are similar to this. So this is just a solid piece of crystal. I quite like it because it reminds me of glass. It's very cloudy. It's really cool. Still don't know what it is. I think... Yeah, no, I have no idea, really. But we have a lot of stuff like that. Yep. I won't go through every single rock in the collection. We'll just go off of my favorites. So stuff like this. Again, solid piece of crystal. It's really cool. And then stuff like this, though, this is the stuff that you really want to find. So like stuff with the color, like this nice purple. Unfortunately, a lot of the rocks are broken when we find them, or we'll try to break open a rock with a rock hammer, and unfortunately that will sometimes shatter the stuff inside, which is unfortunate, but And this one actually I didn't find. Ugh. As you can see, it's big. This is a humongous agate that my grandfather found when we were at the one of the quarries we go to quite often, because almost all of the rocks there have agates in them. Something to do with the way that the rocks cool after the lava flows or something. I don't know. Ask your geologist friends. I'm sure you all have them. But it's just so big. Like, it's bigger than my fist. It's crazy. Now, this one I did find, and I actually really love this one just because of how it's shaped. To zoom out for this one, it's a little bit big. It's like a weird eye shape. And it's jagged, and it makes me think of like a ceremonial dagger type thing from like Indiana Jones. But man, it's awesome. Again, don't know what it is, but I love this kind of stuff. Like, it's amazing the kind of things you can find out there when you're looking. And I mean, might not seem like the best afternoon to go out onto a old quarry, walking over uneven rocks with a hammer, just minutely inspecting every rock, but I'm a boring person, so that's fine. This one here, I've always wondered about this one. So as you can see, it is perfectly flat. And that is exactly how I found it on the side of the road. So it's definitely some kind of crystal again. I believe my grandfather said it might be opal, but then again, I don't know. He's not sure. But man, is it weird. It's just so crazy to me how things can form. Like, this is literally just flat across. How that happened, no idea. It wasn't cut by me unless it was cut by someone and then thrown onto the side of the road. It's just, you know, super odd. But I like it. And it's also quite heavy. Like, compared to some of the other rocks, like, this thing it's got some heft. And it fits so nicely in your palm. I've never really spent any time polishing any of my rocks, just because it's not... A lot of these wouldn't stand up to it, obviously, the crystals, but... here's one that's a little bit different. This one has fool's gold in it. You can see it there. We found this one actually up by Barkerville, which probably a lot of people don't know. In in British Columbia, there is a town called Barkerville, which was part of the center of the gold rush in British Columbia, heading up to the Yukon when they had the gold rush back in the day. And it's a historical town set up to demonstrate buildings, shops, and things around the time of the gold rush. And we looked up in one of the streams there and found some iron pyrite, or fool's gold. Not a lot, but as you can see, there's just little flecks up there. It's really cool. It's actually a pretty fun place to go. I haven't gone in a number of years, but they have like gold panning there, and you can find things and, you know, all that kind of stuff. I have in fact gone gold panning myself, and that is not nearly as much fun as looking for rocks, because you spend hours ankle deep in really cold river water digging dirt into a sifter and then leaving with very little gold normally, unless you have a great claim. Here we get into some of the more interesting crystals. Again, you can see it's all like bunched up here with little spiky crystals. Probably quartz again, but man, is it crazy. It's amazing to me, like, what can form. Just a couple of quick ones here. Again, some more purple crystal. And this one broke, but it's what I liked about this one was the way it broke, with the weird lines heading away from the point, almost like threads. It's really neat how these things form. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff like that. So we'll move into what I call what are probably my favorites. And one of them, sorry, I'm just actually gonna... So this one, unfortunately, came like this. Focus. Thank you. But as you can see, there's a line around the edge, and that's because it's split in half. But as you can see on the inside, it is just full of clean, beautiful crystals. It's even got a weird tumor crystal in there, but man, is that awesome. And it just catches the light off of all of the different faucets. And it's a great one. It is one of my favorites. A couple of other just really great ones just off the bat here. This one here. Some larger chunks of crystal in there. I actually do kind of like it when they break, because the insides are just clean. They're not covered in dirt or anything, and you can just see the facets as the light reflects off of the breaks. Obviously, you're always better off to find one intact, but I just like them like that. This one here, I've always wanted to cut in half. So as you can see on the outside, it's relatively boring. But then there's a shatter here, and you can see that it's got glass-like crystal inside, and I really want to see what it looks like on the inside, but I don't have a rock cutter, obviously. And if I was to smash it, it would just, you know, go everywhere. But man, the mystery of it will always get me. I've got a lot more. I won't waste too much of your time on the dregs here, but we'll go to my two favorites, and then we'll end there. This one here is one of the most beautiful ones I have. And again, as you can see on the outside, this is kind of what the crystals look like when they're in the larger rock. You'll see this inside of the rock, almost stuck in there like a piece of nougat in a chocolate bar. And you try to get it out without breaking it. Unfortunately, most of the time that doesn't happen, but that reveals the inside. And as you can see, this is amazing. Like, again, it's just, the light just catches on it, and it just has all of these myriad crystal faucets, and it is just amazing. Facets. Not faucets for running water, but facets for reflecting light. And then my actual favorite one, now this is actually one that I found when we went gold panning. Surprisingly enough, we had to climb down the side of the road to access a creek going under a bridge on the road. And as we were climbing down the rocks, I found this one just sitting on top of a rock, and it has always been one of my favorites. Could not find the other half, but man, I just love the way the top of it looks. It just looks to me like water, and I love it. It looks like some shattered glass. It is by far my favorite rock. I've always been a fan of the different forms of crystals and the way they break, and this thing is just amazing. Oh, it's so nice. I have so many more. Part of the reason why my mom hated this hobby so much is because we would bring back just bags and bags of crystals. Just bags of rock crystals. They would be stuffed all around her house, and she hates clutter, so she was very displeased with my grandfather for getting us interested in the same hobby as him. But it's definitely, if you have a place where you can go and look, like a quarry or something, to go around and find them, when you find, like, the crystals, when you find something that is, you know, just this nice, it's a great feeling. And it's like a real-life treasure hunt. It really feels great. It's super fun. It's a great way to spend a day. And because, you know, I've spent every summer for as long back as I can remember with my grandfather up north. We've gone camping every year, and in fact we are going to go again soon, because it is, of course, the summer here, dating this video, and we're going to be going camping again. I'm going to try to see if I can find some more to add to my collection. Maybe something weird like this. I still really like this, and I would love to know how this formed. If anybody has any idea how something like this can form, let me know. I would love to know a little bit more about these things that I have hoarded for many, many years. But that'll do it for this video. A little bit shorter than normal, but as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I do suggest that you go looking for rocks as long as you do it safely and responsibly. Be very careful. The rocks are very uneven, and we have definitely rolled ankles and hurt ourselves falling and stuff like that. So always be careful when you're going out into the wilderness. Always know where you are, and always go with someone who knows what they're doing. Never just go and do dangerous things on your own. But if you do it safely, really fun hobby, really enjoyable to go out and collect things. So until next time, goodbye.